What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Wanzo Way. We are focusing on you guys tonight. This is all about you. We got our lovely host, Andre Wanzo, in the building, and we got our admin in the building. Darren, what's going on? Hope everybody feeling good tonight.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, everybody? Darren, what's up?
What's going on? 1 second.
Okay, before we get started, I wanted to give you guys a disclaimer that my Wi-Fi is kind of messing up today. So if you hear me glitching a little bit, please bear with me. But other than that, we're going to stick to our regular scheduled programming. Um, we're going to start this thing off with it looks like we have Anderson Theodore in here. I'm gonna start from the top of the list to the bottom of the list. No note takers will be allowed in here. If you're gonna take notes, do it the old-fashioned way. Let's start the party off with Anderson Theodore. Theodore, what's going on, man? Introduce yourself, where you from, and what's your biggest credit challenges right now?
What's up? What's up, guys?
How you
Anderson
doing?
Theodore. What's up, Wanzo? How you doing?
Good, good.
Um, I'm actually outside of Philly right now in the suburbs. Biggest credit challenge is probably late payments, recent late payments.
And you say you from Philly and you got late payments? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
recent late payments?
Recent late payments, yeah. I have one February, so I have one in October and November. And I've got late payments, yeah. Got high utilization too, but I could work on that. It's just the late payments I can't seem to get rid of.
Okay. So what we're doing, which Brad probably didn't mention, is we want you guys to introduce yourself, tell us what your biggest credit challenge is, and then we're all going to get into a conversation about a couple of different things based upon the scenarios that people are discussing in the in the group right now, right? We can go over late payments for sure, so just stay tuned. Thank you for
Okay.
joining.
All right.
All right, Anthony Perkins, what's going on? You up?
Oh, 1 second. Hear me?
Yep, loud and
Can you hear
clear.
me?
Yep, loud and
Okay.
clear.
I got a question. My credit is actually it's not age.
Brad.
However, I've got 12 primary accounts. They all been paid on time.
Hold on for
And
a second.
my
Hold on for a second, Anthony. Sorry, buddy. I don't know if you heard the introduction what Brad was giving out in regards to how we're going to start this off. So we like all the people because we never seen you before to tell us
right.
where you're from, what's your full name, and then what's your biggest challenge, and then we'll all get into discussion about certain things. So can we
Okay.
address that first?
Yeah, my name's Anthony Perkins. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Temporarily in Atlanta working. And I'm basically just trying to build my credit back up. Basically, that's it.
Okay. You say you're trying to build it up, so you have some
Correct.
challenges on your credit report, period.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And just give me one or two challenges that you're having.
It's mainly the age because I've got
Age.
primary accounts that are like a year old, year and a half, but I'm
Okay.
trying to build it up. But they've
Okay.
been paid on time, but I don't have any aged accounts.
Okay. So age is an issue, and anything else?
That's it mainly. I don't have
Okay.
any a lot of inquiries. I don't have any collections.
Okay. So what we'll do is that we can discuss that too, and I think we have a couple of different remedies for that, and Darren probably will cover something like that as well. So we just want to everybody that's new into the group, and we just want them to introduce themselves and understand what their challenges are, so we can understand what we're going to pretty much focus
All
on
right.
tonight. Okay. So we'll
Copy
get
that.
back to you. Thank you for
I
joining
appreciate
tonight.
it. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you. And what's going on? You're up.
Hold on.
And what you're gonna do is you're gonna introduce your name, where you from, and one or two of your biggest credit challenges. And then what we'll do is we'll write that down as the topic that we'll go over towards the end with the Q&A.
Wait a minute. Who is that? Is that me? Can you hear me?
We can.
It was
Oh, sorry.
it was ANN.
And
And
Okay, I saw a different picture come up, so I wasn't sure if it was me.
can you
Hello.
guys can you guys turn on your video if you don't mind, so we know who we're talking to? We like to see faces when we're talking.
Oh,
It makes it a little bit easier.
let me find it. Hold on. Yeah. I'm not-
Hello.
I just went ahead and muted everybody. And go ahead and unmute yourself again, and we should be good to go.
We can't hear you, Ann.
I don't know what's happening. Come back to me. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it was working. You was good to go.
Okay. So we can come back to Ann, Brad. And we won't forget about you. We'll come back. We'll circle
There
back
she
to
go.
you.
She good. All right.
No, I think she's still having trouble.
Okay, we'll take it on over to Anthony H. Gould. I hope I'm saying that the right way. Anthony H. Gould. You got an @ sign in front of your name? What's going on, man?
What's up with it? How y'all
Let us
doing?
let us know your name, where you're from, and your two biggest credit challenges.
Anthony Gould. That's
Hey,
my
Anthony.
account. I'm on the Zoom right now, son. I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm from Arizona, Tucson, and the biggest credit challenges I have right now are with my mother-in-law and my wife. It's 4 late payments and two hard inquiries. And I've tried everything, the FTC, the challenging through all the bureaus. It's just them suckers are stubborn. And one's a closed account. Well, actually, two accounts are closed, and then the other ones are still active.
Okay. So, we had another gentleman on here that was talking about the late payments themselves. So it's something that we definitely can discuss. And as far as the inquiries, those are kind of simple in some cases, right?
Yeah.
They're not too hard to get off. And so we throw that on the list to discuss for the night. So whoever else is having those type of problems, they can get that information as well as we move along. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with Nam L. Bay. Nam L. Bay. I hope I'm saying that right. And
Hello?
what's going on? And if you can you start your video for us? There you
Hello.
go.
You're on mute, my friend. You're on mute. People having technical difficulties tonight.
There
You
you go.
got
There
it?
you go.
You got it?
Yeah.
You sure?
I didn't ask a question. I ain't ready yet. I just logged on real quick.
No, you're fine. How
Next
you doing,
round.
man?
I'll ask the question next round.
No.
Okay,
So introduce
go ahead.
yourself. Tell us where you're from. Just introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and what's your challenge, if you have any challenges. All right, Brad, let's move forward. You're on mute, Brad.
All right, let's go to Miss
It's a rough
Alexis.
night.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's going
Oh,
on?
hey.
Oh, wait, let me say, you want the video thing you said? Okay.
Yeah, but she's
Okay.
not new,
Hey,
Brad. We
Brad.
already know
Hey,
her. Hey, what's going on?
hey. Okay, so I have like I said, I have some late stop that laughing. So I have some so I have some late pays from Navy Federal. I think I
Uh,
talked to you about it the other day, and but I know Navy Federal is kind of difficult. But the late pays I've been consistent for a year. But I
so,
have
so, so, Alexis, this is a situation right now. We were trying to get the new people just to introduce themselves, and
oh
yeah, that was it. So Brad, I don't remember you from the last time, so if
oh
they could just
shame,
tell us where they
shame,
was from
Brad.
and where their
Oh,
challenges are. So we
okay,
already
Don't do
have
that.
we already have late payments on the actual list already.
okay,
So it's
okay.
something that we will discuss tonight. So just stay tuned, okay?
Oh, okay,
Brad,
bye.
let's take about 2 or 3 more people so we can get started.
Brad.
Because I got a hard stop at 8 anyway. So
Okay, let's start with let's go with Chad Moore. Chad Moore had his hand up. Are you knew right, Chad?
Yep. How you doing, man?
hey
All
Chad, how
right.
are you?
Doing well, doing well. My name is Chad from Chicago, living between Chicago and California right now. My question was more on the business side. As far as I'm in a high risk business, trucking. Um, the name is trucking, so I know it's a high risk name, and just want to know how to proceed dealing with that, and also as well as the business credit profile. I was just looking at that, and I had a collection on it, and also a UCC, and wanted to know what that affect funding moving forward.
All right, Chad, you might be a candidate just to actually book a call directly with me. Because
Right,
some of that stuff is going to be taking some a little bit more time to discuss, and it is the overall view of what you have on the personal side, business side, and understand what your actual challenge is on the business side as far as a collection and things of that nature. So
right.
you can all Brad, can you put that in the chat in regards to book the call, a link for that at all?
Yep, I'll drop that
And
right
then
now.
yeah, so if anybody else is looking to book a call with me, join the mentorship. In the mentorship, I discuss things in depthly about personal credit, business funding, how to start your own funding company, and then how to also invest it into real estate so you have residual income coming in for here for the near future. So, and Brad will drop all those links in the actual chat for you guys as well.
I
Uh,
appreciate it.
yeah, no problem, bro. Thank you for joining. All right, guys, this is what we're going to do because we want to make sure that we can cover some of this stuff. Was it one more, Brad?
Yeah, it was about two more, but I feel like it'd probably be best. Let's just go ahead and get started. Let people raise their hand and get some questions in.
Okay. All right. Guys, whoever had their hand up, we sorry we couldn't get to you, but we need to get started and try to address some of the things. If in fact, if you could just throw what your concern might be in the chat, and maybe Brad can grab it and just and let us know what it is. And then also it might have already been on our list of discuss for tonight anyway. So but just put it in the chat and maybe Brad can just let everybody know what it is and we can jump in discussion. Brad, Darren, are you there? Darren?
Well, I'm here. Sorry, I was just working away in the background. I was on mute.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Darren, go ahead and introduce yourself so people know who you are as make them know that you're part of the team here.
What's going on, guys? So my name is Darren Crawford. I do all the back end credit repair services for Wanzo. So if you guys have any erroneous things in your credit report, late payments, charge off collections, I'm pretty much the guy you want to talk to understand and at least start the right track of getting this stuff removed. And then if you guys ever just wanted a hands-on service, that's also something that we do. So we do everything personal credit repair goes. Not just removing the negative information, but also building your credit report out so you guys can be in position to get some funding.
Okay, thank you for that, Darren. So, guys, listen, tonight I want to start off with letting you guys know there's going to be some major changes in regards to the actual way the CFPB is going to be operating. Prior to you guys joining the group, I already explained to the group that many changes are always going to come when Donald Trump gets into office, and I already know he was going to actually target the CFPB as one of one of his things that he wanted to change, as they do help us out all the way across the board. But without the CFPB, we really have nobody on our side to help challenge the major big companies that keep us held to bay and not giving us opportunity to move forward. So, with that said, I want you all to know and understand that if in fact you're starting to have trouble with the CFPB, which is possibly more than likely it's going to happen, because to my understanding, they have already put some of the complaints on hold, right? So what I want you to start targeting is use the actual local entities in your state, like the attorney general and the attorney general, right? The attorney general has the ability to still reach out to those companies that's causing you harm on your credit report because they're not doing a full investigation. So I need all you guys to note that and make sure that you understand that you have another resource that's local to you in your state, as a CFPB is not state, is more federal, right? So make sure you note that. So we're going to start off with some of these concerns in regards to, let's do age first, and then because those late payments might take a little time. Darren, can you get back on and explain to them what they could possibly do in regards to increasing their age? And I think there's a gentleman named Anthony who asked that question. Age is going to be important to come to your credit report, because when you're doing business and when you're doing business credit, the underwriter will always look and see how long have you actually had a trend line in regards to the amount of time that you've been paying things on time and keeping that consistent. So Darren, can you let's get into depth to how they can actually build that out for themselves on the personal side?
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, guys, so just keep in mind when we're talking about age and building your credit report out, it's very important to have age in your credit report. That's about 35% of your perfect score, which is the 850, is just your age alone, right? So we want to make sure that we're showing and we have a good reputation of payments on our credit report. So nobody has to wonder if this person's going to pay on time or not. They can see it on your credit report. You're building that track record up, right? So there's a couple of things that you can do if you have what we call a thin file and you're trying to increase your age and your report doesn't have a lot of accounts in there. One, we want to focus on primary accounts first that we can, benefit from the major, because primary accounts is going to hold the most volume. It's like you in the driver's seat compared to an authorized user account, which I'll cover in a second, is you in the passenger seat. And what I mean by primary accounts is just 100% accounts that you are responsible for. Nobody else is responsible for it. It's only going to affect you, and that's it, right? So one of those accounts that I love to have people add that they don't get credit for, that you guys pay on time all day anyway, is your rent, right? So you can add rental history in your credit report. And there's different companies that will allow you to report your rent and even backdate it up to 2 years, backdate your rent. So that can help with building that track record of payments if you don't have any accounts already established in your report. And you can instantly have inherit history, because that's 35%, again, is those payments, right? So we can have accounts like rent reporters being reported, or Rock the Score, being put on your credit report. And then you can use a combination of authorized users. So authorized user account is nothing more than a secondary permission for you to be on somebody's account. So let's say somebody has, let's say your aunt or your father, somebody in your family has a credit card and they've had that card for 5 years, right? And then let's say they have a credit limit of $20,000, and you turn to them and you ask them to add you onto their credit card. Now you inherit all of that credit history and that limit also, right? So now you got 5 years worth of history on there, whatever it may be, automatically being reported on your credit report, which can instantly boost your scores up. So a lot of times when people are trying to get that little extra 50-point boost or 60-point boost or something, you can just add an authorized user on your credit report, and that can boost your scores up and boost your average A's up of your accounts.
And did you give them some places they can actually go in regards
Yeah.
to? Okay.
Yeah, so Rent Reporters is a really good one. I like that. Rent Reporters reports to TransUnion and Equifax, and it will show that you have, backdated history on there. So it's a little fee. I think it's like $60 to get it reported, and then if you want to get the backdated history, I think it's additional like $15 or something like that. So you'll be looking about $75 all in to get that backdated on your report up to 2 years.
And guys, keep in mind when you're actually building out your credit and Darren is giving you some accounts like this to add to your credit report, please be mindful of what he said, right? Because I want you guys in this group, I want to get you to actually think and listen to people, right? You have to listen, right? Really, really listen. So let me break down what I mean. He said it reports to Equifax and TransUnion. You didn't hear him say it reports to Experian, right? So if in fact you add those two, it's going to throw your scores off. Two are going to be a little bit higher than the other one. So you have to figure out another account that you can put on Experian to kind of bring that up and level that out. But this is strategy when you're doing funding in a sense, right? Because you don't need all the accounts to be same they're equally the same across the board. You just need to understand strategy of what you're doing, because we have banks that pull from just from Equifax, just from TransUnion, and then just from Experian. So sometimes you want the other ones to be higher than the other two anyway, based upon what your strategy is. So I want you to keep that in mind. Darren, do you have any one of those is applicable to Experian at all?
Yeah, there's let me see. Boom Pay. Boom Pay. Now Boom Pay is a little bit harder because
Can
Boom
you
Pay
spell it out for them so they'll know what you're
it's
talking about?
BOOMPAY. Boom Pay. Okay. And so Boom Pay, how they work, so how rent reporters or Rock the Score work is you would basically be providing them your lease, and and they would basically go off of whatever information is in that lease to backdate your rent, right? So if you don't have a strong paper trail as far as making payments on time, you can at least just show them the lease and they can backdate it that way, and that's an easy peasy kind of process. But Boom Pay is a little different. They will report it to all three credit bureaus, but they use a system called Plaid. And Plaid will basically connect to your banking, and they'll look at all your banking payments for rent, and then they'll basically backdate it that way also. But it's a little bit harder to get in there if you're the type of person that maybe be paying, with a money order or something like that, or you're paying your rent in cash, and they may not have those payments documented. So that's a great alternative. But Rock the Score and Rental Karma and companies like that are easier to get into and easier to get reported.
Okay, now we're gonna go into a Q&A a little bit later here. So if you guys got any questions about that, make sure you jot down what they are. We don't want to stress these questions out, so please have them direct questions of what you want to hear, and so we can get you a response to help elevate and escalate the process of you getting better credit, so you can come get some funding from the Wanzo Way funding group. Okay, that's the whole objective for us putting this together. Get yourself in order so you can be able to put yourself in position to get funding. All right. What was the other thing that came across here? Darren, let's cover this and then we'll jump on to late payments. Inquiries. All right. Give the community the steps to remove inquiries in a rapid pace. And if there's any in particular way of doing it per bureau, make them aware of that as well. Or if you have a situation where they can go across all bureaus with one, give them both options if you have that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So when it comes to inquiries or disputing in general, execution and fast, timely execution is the most important thing that we can do, right? So yes, the CFPB is one of the fastest ways you can actually start doing your disputes. There is a bit of a hold on the CFPB, but they're still taking the disputes. So it doesn't hurt for you to put these disputes in, but you can always go to the CFPB and add a dispute there. And that's a form of communication, because the CFPB, once you make a dispute with them, instead of having to send out a letter to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, you can make the dispute just with CFPB over the internet, and they will notify all three credit bureaus in minutes of the dispute. Right. And it's going to take the credit bureaus some time to respond and get back to them. And they know the CFPB has had a great history of finding these companies when they don't do their job. So they know that they need to get back to you in a timely manner, so you can get pretty fast results going through the CFPB. Now, right now, the CFPB, like he said earlier, they are having some issues because of the administration potentially shutting them down, that they are in a bit of a hole. So one thing you can do is when you're doing your disputes, you can always go to, for example, you can go to Experian.com/upload, and you can upload your documents there, right? So yes, a lot of these companies are going to want you to mail something in, but any form of communication and putting them on notice is acceptable. So don't let them sit there and make you believe that you can only mail some stuff in. You can go to different sources, just like he was mentioning, Wanzo was mentioning, like the Attorney General, to basically put these companies on notice. So one thing you want to do is be mindful, any inquiries you do not want to dispute if they're related to open accounts. If they're related to open accounts, you can potentially get that account closed down, because what are you disputing with an inquiry? You're disputing the application process. And if you didn't do the application, then why do you have that account? So when you do dispute these open accounts with inquiries, you could potentially leave those accounts rejective to getting closed. So the only accounts you ever want to be disputing is accounts that are not, only inquiries you ever want to be disputing is inquiries that are not related to open accounts. And you got a couple of documents that you can do. You have your consumer statement, putting them on notice that, hey, this inquiry might be inaccurate. You have an FTC report that you can do. to let them know, hey, I'm letting the Federal Trade Commission know also that this account is inaccurate. And then you can take those two documents and you can provide that to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax and file your dispute that way, right? I always tell people if you have multiple disputes with CFPB, start another account and do a CFPB dispute that way instead of having 5, 10 different active disputes. Just start another account, open it up, and do a dispute through the CFPB. And at some point, I'm sure we're going to go into, on another class, we're going to go into how to do the CFPB disputes exactly. But you can go in there and basically file that way through the CFPB and then go into experian.com/upload and you can upload your documents that way. A lot of times I see it where, let's say, for example, Monday, I take my 2 documents and I upload them on Experian. I can call back by Wednesday and they've already had it uploaded on the file, and then I can ask for the deletions that way. So again, a phone call is another form of communication and putting them on notice. So you can also call them and dispute this stuff over the phone also. So you got the CFPB, you can call them, you can mail to them. The fastest ways I do it is to the CFPB, and then I call them like 2 days later after I've made my dispute, make sure that they got it, and then request the removal of the inquiries.
Okay, guys. So again, we're gonna have a Q&A. So if you got any questions about that, just hold that for a minute, and then we'll get to that. Because we have not a lot of people, but we got quite a few people here tonight. All right. So I'm looking in the chat, and it seems that people are asking about student loans. I see about high utilization. So let me just jump in here real quick, Darren. So
Yeah.
high utilization, real quick, just to let you guys know, if you got high utilization and it's on the personal side, one institution that you can actually go to is called SoFi. SoFi actually is a they do personal loans, okay? So you can actually consolidate your credit cards and put it into a loan. The benefit of doing that, once you consolidate your loans, I mean once you get a loan and you consolidate your credit cards, you take all that debt from your credit cards and you put it into one loan, which lowers your utilization. A loan doesn't affect your utilization, it only affects your DTI, which is debt to racial income. Make sure that they understand how much money you got coming in versus how much money you got going out. So all this is based upon strategy. This is what I try to get you guys to understand. So if you're looking to purchase like a building or a house or something, DTI is going to be important. Okay, so you need to understand that. You can't say, "Hey, well, I'm going to get rid of my credit card debt and put it into a loan." No, they're going to look at that as well. Now, if you're looking just to actually reduce your utilization, then you can go get a loan. But if you're looking to actually make an impact all the way across the board, you have to be careful of what you're doing in the process that you're taking. Now, I want you to keep in mind that revolving credit and installment loans affects DTI as a whole. Okay, it's always about how much money you got going out versus how much money you got coming in. All right. So hopefully you guys can go to SoFi and look and see if you can qualify for one of their loan programs and get your utilization lowered. That way you can have the opportunity to get more funding and then put yourself in a better position to do some business funding as well. All right. Let me see one other thing. Student loans, real quick. I'm going to cover this real quick. And keep in mind, guys, if you need to book a call with me, all right, because we might not have enough time on these Zooms. These Zooms is just to give you a couple of guidelines and pointers and where to go. But if you need some one-on-one guidance, you can always book a call with me. Brad has put the link in the chat, and you can always go to thewanzoway.com. All my services are there to help you guys and assist you guys along your journey. All right. Now, student loans themselves. Student loans has always been a challenge to everybody, okay? I done helped a number of people get student loans off of their credit report, but it is a process. And one of the things I'm going to tell you about student loans is that they always have to verify and validate the debt in addition to having to prove that you owe that debt. So you always ask the student loan service provider for a promissory note. That's what you want. The promissory note is the actual bonding agreement between you and the second party in regards to making sure that you guys have an agreement in the amount that you made it for. Most of the time, these loan services don't have that information. I'm letting you know that. That's a nugget, so you need to write it down. Most of the times they don't have that information and they're going to stall you. So if they don't provide you the promissory note within a short amount of time, you can ask and request your student loans to get removed. If in fact you need more in-depth information about that, just book a call with me. We can talk to it so you can have my undivided attention and we can go over it one-on-one. And if in fact you want to learn the full process of doing that, then jump into my mentorship again, because I could show you all the stuff in the mentorship. The mentorship is very powerful. It covers a lot of different things. So if you're looking to get into the mentorship, just go to the wanzoway.com and it'll give you the links that's available. And also that Brad has posted those links into the chat. Now, real quick, Darren, so because this could probably take some time, so I need you to kind of give them the detailed, in-depth version of how to address late payments in regards to getting rid of one late payment at a time, and not actually going to them all, trying to address them all at once, and the actual pros and cons of doing it that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, so late payments is can be classified as a lot of things. You know, there could be an accounting error there, right? Let's say you paid it and they didn't have enough time to process your payment, and now they want to take and say, hey, hey, you're late. But maybe you weren't late. Maybe you paid it on time and they just didn't have the time to process everything and update your records for it, right? And now you're being punished and they're furnishing this thing on your credit report to all three bureaus, and it's dramatically dropping your scores down. You as a consumer, you have rights under Section 609. You have rights to one, be notified anything that's being reported in your credit report before it does, so that you can act and try to address the situation. You have a lot of different things like 15 USC 16.6 billing error, where the defined late payment underneath the billing error statute is basically more of trying to think of the exact word here. It's defined more of like more of an error on the business side. So a consumer, the company will have their certain billing errors where they want to have you pay within 30 days, right? But let's say you made your payment and they can't technically prove the late payment because they're just having their 30-day billing cycle period. So when you ask them, like, well, how did you guys come up with this? And you ask them for certain validation of the debt, then that's when they have to furnish that proof of like, hey, you were late on this day and this is how it happened. And this is what basically transpired on that particular date. They have to prove all this information. So what I like to do is try to basically dispute one late payment first by using the 1566 billing error, and request a certain series of statements and documentation that they have to provide to show that they were late, that you were late, right? And if they can't, then they need to remove this, because anything that's being reported in your credit report, if it's not verifiable, if it's not accurate, it needs to be removed off your report. So I do a simple debt validation of just, hey, show me proof that I was late on this debt. Show me proof that you notified me, because according to the law, show me proof that you notified me that I was late on this debt before you guys even reported this information, so I could have addressed it. And if they don't follow these laws, they don't have an accurate ability to say that you were late, right? There's a lot of notifications that they have to provide you guys with that states that they gave you the chance to correct this issue before they reported it. A lot of times when you dispute stuff, you'll see it on your credit report. They'll come back and they'll say, hey, this is a reinvestigation, when you dispute it, instead of saying, hey, we're investigating this. Why are they saying that? It's because they were supposed to investigate this with you in the first place. They were supposed to come to you in the first place and say, hey, this is what the company is saying about you is accurate, and give you a chance to prove yourself that, hey, I made the payment. Here goes my bank statements, or here goes my payment information that I made this payment. So I would put it on the responsibility of the creditor to prove that you were actually late, right? Because they're the ones that got to document that stuff. So I tackle one late payment first, and then let's say if you had 3 or 4 late payments consecutively, right? You got a 30, 60, a 90, 120 day. If you get that one late payment gone, that 30-day late payment gone, now that 60, that 90, and 100, it doesn't make sense anymore, because how do you go from 30 to a 60-day late payment? How do you go from a 60-day to a 120-day late payment, right? So now that's inaccurate, and now you can get those rest of the ones removed. So instead of trying to go after all your late payments at once, isolate it, tackle one late payment, request a validation of that debt, and request how they're basically accurately saying that you were late. And if they can provide that information, then we can get it started getting deleted.
Okay. Now, again, we're going to do a Q&A. So if you guys got any questions, just write that down. I think I'm going to skip my other meeting so we can spend a little bit more time on here with you guys, because it seemed like you guys want us to stick around. If you're getting some information out of what we're talking about, put a fire emoji in the chat. Put a 1. Let us know you're still there, still alive. Is anybody out there, Darren?
Let's see. I seen some stuff in the chat. Get the fire emojis.
All right, all right. My auntie's on there. What's up, auntie?
Oh, she is. It's Wanzo.
Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are getting some information. Okay, so who's Anthony Williams? Hey, Anthony. Anthony, give us a second. We'll get right to you. All right. Let me see if there's anything else in here real quick. If you guys need to post something in the chat that you want me to discuss real quick, put it in there so we can try to address it before we get into the Q&A. Because once we get into the Q&A, we're going to be off all subjects. All right. Discharge debt. All right. We're not going to talk about Metro 2. That's a whole nother system. So discharging debt. What debt are you trying to discharge, Jay? Student loans? Okay. I kind of put that out there already about the student loans, right? The student loans discharges basically, with Trump in office, I'm gonna let you guys know that's history. Okay. He's not about to let any student loans go unpaid. All right. That's his friends that holds the student loans. And I want you to understand that student loans are actually on the stock market. If you look at who actually services your student loans, I guarantee you they have a ticker on the stock market. That's why it's so hard to get rid of student loans. Student loans are owned by actual private investors. Okay. You guys need to know that. So if they go away, the investors lose their money and they're not trying to let that happen. So you have to be actually really creative in regards to getting rid of student loans because the law says that you still have to prove that someone owes you the debt. The only way they can show that you owe the debt is to provide an actual promissory note. Now, when I got rid of my student loans, I'm going to tell you guys this, right? This is a funny story. When I got rid of my student loans, I was looking at my documentation in regards to promissory note, okay? And what I found on there was very interesting. One of the main things I found that was interesting is that one of the people they had as an actual reference for my student loans was my daughter, who was a child at that time, okay? So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Request your actual promissory note from the student loan servicer, okay? And look at it in detail. Understand the address, make sure the zip codes are right, make sure the actual references are right, make sure everything's supposed to be right on there. And if it's not, then challenge it, right? Because a lot of times they they fabricate these student loans, they gather information what they can find on you and put it on student loan paper, then send it out to you, right? And say, here's your promissory note, which is actually against the law. They're breaking the law because they're doing fraud. All right. So you guys need to take what I'm saying and request your promissory note from the loan service provider. That will help you. All right. Again, they had my daughter as the actual reference, somebody to reference on my student loan promissory note. In addition to that, that next reference they had was myself. How can you reference yourself on your own application? That doesn't even make sense. A reference is supposed to be a third party. So I'm giving you guys some clues on how to get rid of that stuff. And if in fact you need help with that, you can always book a call with me or jump into the mentorship, which I can show you how to do that in detail. All right. I can show you how to do that in detail. So it's very important to learn the process. And you can't do that. You can't put the cart before the horse. You have to do it in a way where it makes sense. You have to take steps and do it the correct way. All right. You have to actually put it in order. That's why I'm getting you guys on here with Darren, myself, and Brad, so you guys understand how to do stuff and the process it'll take to do it. But if you need one-on-one time, you have to book a call with me. Okay. All right. So from here, what we're gonna do, Brad, you there?
No.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's start opening this up to Q&A. You guys can raise your hand. Brad will shout you out. And me and Dan to jump in and try to address some of your questions.
Everybody right now, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Use the raise your hand function. It'll be a button called react, and then it'll say raise hand. So if you got questions, This is the time to get in line. All right, let's start with Leon Williams Jr. Let's go.
Yes, sir. I'm asking a question.
Leon, can you turn your camera on for us? We like to talk to faces. It's hard to talk to a screen. That's one of the requirements in here. We like to talk to people. We like to get to know who we're talking to.
All right. Yes, this is Leon. I'm calling. You saying that it's $200 to get in to book a call or one-on-one. Uh, I would invest that money, but I don't want to invest in nothing that I probably already know or read or starting to do. Like I got 700 across the board. I just got a thin credit profile, and I've been reading up on stuff and researching my own researching, and I found out if I could go and get a rent reporters, um, that would help me and give me 4 years of history and would give me a little help to my credit score because I have no derogatories, no collections, no nothing on my credit report. I got a 700 plus across the board.
Okay, well, Leon, this is what I would tell you, my friend. If in fact you feel like you are very comfortable with the knowledge that you have, it's a little challenging to understand why you would be on here trying to elevate, right? So our
Well,
whole
it's
purpose
850
to
is the 850 is the what you call it. I'm trying to elevate all I can.
well, what's your credit score right now?
I got 730 TransUnion, 710 Experian, 712 Equifax.
And what you think you should have?
I'm trying to build it up to 800. 850 is the max, ain't it? 800, 850 is the max.
It is. And so how many accounts do you have on your credit report? Primary
Uh, uh,
accounts.
primary accounts, I only got one primary account, and it's a tier one, but it's only $300 with Capital One credit.
Okay.
Can I
And
take
then I
this
got
one?
Okay.
two
Okay.
installations.
Hold on. Can you mute them? Okay, so you said you got one primary account, right? Is
Yes.
that and you have a total of 8 accounts on your credit report?
No, I only have that one and two installation accounts.
So you got a total
Installment accounts.
so you got a total of 3 accounts on your credit report with a 730 score, right?
Yes.
Okay. But you said you have one primary account. Do you understand what a primary account is?
Yeah, primary account is account that's my account without like an authorized user is
Okay,
not
so
my account.
what's the other 2 accounts then?
The other two accounts is with Self and Kobo.
But are they your accounts?
Yes, they're my accounts. They're installment accounts.
Okay.
And then
So
I have one credit card with Quicksilver One credit card with Capital One.
okay, so I can almost guarantee you that that call would be very beneficial to you. Okay? Because your profile is beyond very thin. Okay? Just to let you know, for one. For two, you have to understand there's only two type of accounts. There's a actual primary account and there's somewhat of what you call an authorized user account. You're telling me that you have one primary account and the other accounts that you mentioned are not authorized users. They're actually primary accounts for you, just through a third party. So your
Yeah.
education on this needs to be, we need to work on it so you understand exactly how to
What
strategize your way to
what
build out a
what
more powerful
not
profile.
it's not between the two installment accounts are my accounts. Like I said, Self and
Exactly.
Kobo.
Yeah, but
And then
those
I got one with the tier one credit, like Capital One is a tier one uh banking institution. And I got like that Quicksilver One credit card with them.
okay. Well, this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to suggest you to book the call. I think it's going to be beneficial to you. You still only have 3 accounts, and you need to be able to understand the strategy you need and structure it properly to get you to the next level of the game. So, feel free to tap in with us so we can spend some time with you to get you the information that you need.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, Wanzo, mind if I jump in there and add something to that? You know, it's knowledge in itself. Knowledge in its pure form isn't power. Understanding how to apply that knowledge is what makes it powerful, right? So, you know, when you guys have these high credit scores and all that stuff, and the 750s and the 800s, if you don't have a strong credit report backing it, it could mean nothing. I literally have a client right now with an 800 credit score that can't get approved for nothing, right? Because he has one account opened up, and then he has 4 different authorized user accounts that are not even his. And so these banks are not stupid, guys. If you know about an authorized user account and how to add a trade line in your report, you think these banks that make trillions of dollars every year don't know about this stuff? So it takes more than just some basic little starter accounts and to say, okay, cool, I'm good to go. You got to really understand how to structure your credit report correctly so these banks can look at it and say, okay, this person is trustworthy. So I just want to, nail this in the hammer again, is just understanding how to use the knowledge that you have and how to apply it in your particular situation. Everybody's profile is going to be slightly different. So you got to understand how to manipulate your profile in the best way that you can benefit it from. So I just want to make sure you guys always going to have, 2 years, one mouth for a reason. Listen more, and you guys can learn more about these situations because we're trying to really just teach you guys on how to build up these credit profiles so you can go to Wanzo and get $300,000 off of one inquiry. If you guys look at the pins, you guys see, we got a couple of people up here, $300,000 off of one inquiry. And that's because their reports were built out right and they were in the right position to actually go out there and get that funding.
Yeah, thank you for that explanation, Darren, because it's been so many times that you, myself, and others have ran across. And guys, you need to understand this. Just to reiterate what Darren is saying is this, right? Sometimes people think because they have a credit score, like the young man mentioned, his credit score is 736, but the highest limit credit card he has is 300. The score doesn't matter like that. Because if somebody has a 640 credit score and he has a 700 and they have primary accounts on their credit report, they're going to get way more money than him because they done already proven that they have history with paying on time, dealing with a certain amount of money at a certain level. And it's called a trend line. That's what banks look at. They want to see consistency. So keep that in mind. They want to see consistency about what you're doing, how long you've been doing it, who you've been doing it with, and how much you've been managing. So it's very important that you understand that. All right. All right, Brad. Who got next? Brad, you got your hand up or something? Like, where Brad go?
Brad, wait, good question. Let's see. I know he was having some issues with his connection.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, this thing is acting crazy over here. The next person we got is Michael Reed. Is that the person we had talked to the first time?
No, but Anthony Williams can take his hand down unless he had another question because we already got him. We want to make sure we can get to everybody as possible.
I never asked a question.
Hello.
Yeah. So who else we got, Brad?
We got Tony. What's going on?
Hello. Did y'all ask me already? I'm
No,
Michael
not
Reed
yet.
right here.
We're on Tony.
Okay.
Oh, you passing up Michael Reed?
Michael?
All right, Tony, you up?
Okay.
All right.
We'll come back to you, Michael. Just put your hand up,
we'll get you right. We'll get you right, Michael.
Go ahead, Tony.
All right. So they called me Tony. My name is Anthony Williams. I was going to tell you that I never asked a question, but I'm glad you recognized me. I'm a retired veteran, and I heard you mention about utilizing SoFi. I only got probably five credit lines that I need to clear up so that I can utilize coming back to you guys for your expertise, because I want to do development. I want to take my GI Bill, purchase some land, and then develop an entire community, including some usage for disabled veterans or veterans, because that's what I am a veteran. So I'm really excited about the lesson that I've learned, and that just that tad bit of information about being able to confirming, you did say for me to go to SoFi and ask them to consolidate my little 5 accounts that I need to clean up on my credit so that we can really build it out, as you guys have in your teaching, have made it clear that you got to properly. And I say that because I've tried to be a little independent broker, going out assisting individuals and trying to get money for their various businesses. And so many people are in hardship because the historical was out of order.
Okay, so
Yeah, so I wanted to just confirm, you just say SoFi, right?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll be back, and I want to do once I get this resolved, as the young man says, everything is done step by step. So this is my first step. Once I get that, then I can book a session with you guys. So I'll always be back on this. I like this. And I'm going to spread the word, if you don't mind.
I would love for you
this.
to. It's a free community right now. Tell your family and friends, they can all join in.
Yes, I am.
We do this every Thursday at
Every
7 o'clock sharp. We in and we out. So if they want to elevate their, ability to soar in the financial space, this would be the spot to come to. Okay. Thank you again.
It's same link that I use that was provided to me. Just simply pass that link on for every Thursday at 7.
You could, but we'll be sending out the link anyway. So
okay.
So definitely just look out for the link that comes out. Okay.
Thank you guys. Hey, love it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Michael, unmute yourself.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. And I just got one question. You know the 24-hour inquiry deletion, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do I go about that? Like once I call I know how to do it, but like, do I supposed to say I filed the police report or I didn't file the police report? Because what if I say I filed the police report and they ask for the number, and then if I say I didn't file the police report, what if they say call back after you're done? Like, how do I navigate through this?
What I'll do, Anthony, can you mute? Here, let me do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna let Darren give you the real short version of that, not really lengthy because we gotta get to other people, but he'll give you the short version of it.
Guys, keep in mind, when we're disputing and we're doing things, there's 2 laws that govern what we're trying to do, right? We have the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and then we have the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, right? So if you understand when we're talking about, potential identity theft or unauthorized accounts and different things like that, one of the stipulations is that they were requiring you to, 1, make a consumer statement. Okay, this is you, the consumer, testifying to your experience of this particular account and why you're disputing it, right? And then 2, you need to notify on a particular agency. Now, some can, you can add a police report in there if that's legitimately what happened. Let's say somebody broke in your car and you had a police report from that and you were a victim of identity theft and that was real. Yes, go ahead. That is okay. But if that's not the case and you're just disputing some inquiries, you do not need to be filing a police report for any reason. The law states that either you can have a police report or an FTC report filed. You don't have to do both, right? And then you can turn that in with your consumer statement. And then and the reason why I was saying to use the CFPB is because they will get that documentation to them immediately over to them. So then you can call up there, a day after or 2 days after and say, hey, did you guys get my documentation? Okay, cool. Now you guys have been put on notice. I would like to go ahead and get these inquiries removed, right? I provided you guys all the appropriate documents and I'm requesting the removal of this. But again, you do not want to be playing with police reports. I promise you that you can get yourself jammed up doing this, playing with police reports and filing false claims if that's not really you. FTC report and a consumer statement is a safe way to go to get these things off, and you'll get the same process in the same time frame.
Yeah, because Michael, it was one young lady that got arrested for doing things of that nature. But did that address your question?
Yes, it did, because I'm going through the business funding process. And don't you know how, like, when you apply through the business for your credit cards and everything like that, and they hit your personal, that's when you call and get the inquiries off, right? I was just needing to know, what do I say if they was to navigate, if they was to say,
one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to tamper with any inquiries that's tied to an actual account because it looks fraudulent. So you only want to deal with inquiries more than likely that you use as a personal guarantor to get the business credit because they can't see the business side. But
Right.
anything personal, then you want to make sure that you don't do that. Anything that they can visually see, you don't want to do that because they're going to close your account and they have a legal right to do that because it looks like fraud.
Right, correct. So on the
Yeah.
business, okay, I got everything then. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and
All
then
right.
and just to add to that a little bit, real quick, you guys, when you guys are doing these disputes, for inquiries and you're doing the FTC report, one of the major laws that's your friend, which is underneath the Fair Credit Reporting Act, is 15 USC 1681 C2 block of information. Why is this important? Because once you put these companies on notice that, hey, this inquiry is inaccurate, this inquiry is not mine, or this account is not mine, now, underneath that law, if you go in there, you can Google this and read this law. It states that once you put them on notice, they have 4 business days to block that information off of your profile, right? So you want to quote that. You want to let them know, hey, listen, now you guys are noticed. Now you guys have this dispute. I'm requesting a block of information on my credit report. And they have 4 business days to block any accounts that are related to identity theft or anything of that nature off of your credit report. This is one of the fastest ways you can get remedy and get an account removed off your credit report.
All right, Michael. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you guys so much.
All right, cool. Did we ever get to Tony? Tony, did you? Okay, I think I got you confused with Anthony. So unmute yourself, Tony. How you doing?
How you doing, Andre?
Wanzo. It's Wanzo.
Well, I'm sorry, Wanzo. My question was last week. You said that it was I don't know if it was the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If you dispute something, it pops back on your credit report. I didn't write it down last week, and I was trying to remember what did you say about that, about stuff coming back on your
So when you do FTC report which is actually the block, it's a blockage. That's what it is, right? It's a block. It's not a deletion. So let me explain it to you, right? When you do identity theft, it's blocked until an investigation happens. After an investigation happens, right? So an investigation is to see if in fact that was true identity theft. If it wasn't identity theft, then they have every right to put it back on your credit report. So when people say, hey, this came off my credit report, but then they pop back on, it only pop back on because it was blocked during the course of an investigation. That's what you guys need to understand, right? The only time they cannot legally put something back onto your credit report is when you get a letter from the credit agency saying that it was deleted. Okay? Deleted. All right. When you see it's deleted, then they can't put it back on there because it's called reinsertion. Right? That's the actual federal law. So did you get that?
Yes.
Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. What was next? Born? Is that Born?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Tony, you can take your hand down if you know how to do it, please. How you doing? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Queens, New York. I'm
Queens,
doing
New
well.
York.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I actually was kicking it with you at Herman's joint in Philadelphia a few months back.
Oh,
But
okay.
I heard the brother Darren saying about the FTC report because you don't want to go through the police report, which
Right.
I've done that and had forgotten remedy.
Mhm.
Filing through the CFPB. But my question is, what's going on with the CFPB right now? Because I'm hearing a lot of things like they're being frozen or they're not able to do.
Well, I'll tell you that you probably wasn't on here earlier when I explained to
No, I
people
wasn't. I
that.
came in late.
Come on, Born, you can't be late, man.
Come
You
on,
can't.
man.
Come on,
Life,
man. You
life
can't be.
happens.
Come on,
Wanzo,
man.
life happens, bro.
Can't
You understand?
Darren, what you think? You think we should charge him for something being late?
Well,
Charge
no,
Get
you're
him
them.
gonna have to,
Charge
book
them.
a consultation now.
five, like Ike did with Tina Turner. Five, five,
The
five.
hate is thick
Why
in
not?
this room, huh?
So listen, my friend, let me break it down to you so you understand, right? The
All right.
CFPB is more on the federal level, okay? That's what it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's not on a state level, it's on the federal level, which gives Donald Trump the ability to do what he wants with it, right? The first time Donald Trump had a term, he put somebody else into the CFPB over it to dismantle it. The reason why they wanted to dismantle the CFPB because the CFPB is support for the people. The people being me, you, and the rest of the people that's on this in this live. I mean, in this
Right.
group. Okay. Without the CFPB, we have no one to really be able to tackle the larger companies that's hindering us from getting things off our credit report. Prior to the CFPB, if you had something on your credit report, it was damn near like hell to get it off. Okay. And you had no governing body to actually go after these credit agencies to stop them from not making modifications to your credit report about things they didn't investigate. Okay. That's why the CFPB was created. All right. Now, when Donald Trump puts somebody else over to CFPB like he did in his first term, it's going to be chaos again. So now you have to think about different structures and strategies, which we teach into the Wanzo Way mentorship, of how to get around that and actually be able to effectively remove stuff off of your credit report without the CFPB. And that's when you're going to use other entities like the Attorney General, which is statewide, not federal, but it's state. So they can actually still push to investigate anything that's involved in their state and legally take actions against them. So again, I put this out to the group earlier prior to your arrival, being late and all.
I got you, bro. Keep on pushing it out there,
that
man.
that the Attorney General is very important, and that's another entity that you can actually use. Okay, so reach out to them and know who they are.
I no
Answer
no
your
no.
question.
Like I've gotten, like I told you, I've gotten remedy with the FPB, and I really don't even have any issues right now. I think my scores is like 819, 812, and 815.
Oh, it sounds like
But
you're ready for funding. I'm right here when you're ready.
all right, you know what I mean? I got you. But
Right.
I just was hearing a lot of things about the CFPB, so I just figured maybe you could give me some clearance. 'Cause you was definitely dropping it in Philadelphia, man.
I appreciate you, man.
For real. Yeah, I know you remember. Okay, you had a whole circle around you, bro. Like you was definitely dropping it, man.
Hey, man, I try
Taking
to get
people's drinks and everything.
I try to give you guys what you need, man, so you can elevate, man. It's time to go. Because see, listen, in this group and in this community, what we're trying to teach you to do is understand the foundation so you can build your house up, right? And so what I mean by that is get the all the information you need, learn how to make it applicable to your situation, but be creative with the information once you get it. I don't really do blueprints, I do scenarios, right? Because every blueprint don't work for everybody. So I have
Right.
to deal with people based upon their condition at that current time. Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
So you have to be able to know how to understand the personal side, develop the personal side, how to understand the business side, develop the business side, then how to get into business funding, get the business funding, but then what to do with the business funding. That's when I take you into the real estate piece. And I can show you how to actually acquire property without putting in your personal or business profile with a small amount of money. But I am the guy to get you $300,000 with one inquiry. So if I could show you how to acquire property with just 5,000, 10,000, and you got 300 at your disposal, you figure out what we're capable of doing. So again, I'm waiting
It's a
on you
lot of
right here.
property. It's a lot of property. Let's just say that. It's a lot of property.
All right.
All
Well,
right,
thank
brother.
you for
Appreciate
joining us,
you.
man. And we look forward to seeing you next week as well. Who
I
else we got?
appreciate you.
Yep, no problem. Who else we got, Brad?
Vince, you up?
All right, man. First, I want to thank Wanzo, man. Out of
Oh,
all
thank
these
you.
people on the internet, bro, like you make this shit s- feel reachable. You feel me? Like attainable, bro.
Appreciate it.
So I just want to thank you for that.
Yeah, no
Um,
doubt.
so I'm in the beginning stages, man. Getting prepared for business funding because I want to do everything you said. Do get the funding, get the real estate, all that. But
Okay.
where I'm at right now is in the very beginning. So I'm fixing my credit right now,
Mhm.
and I have four credit builder accounts on there. So is that enough credit builder accounts, or should I put more credit builder accounts?
Well, what do you have outside of credit bureaus accounts at all? Do you have
Nothing
any,
like
you don't have any pledge loans or anything like that?
no.
How long have you had the credit builder accounts on there?
I just so I got the first one in December. So like I'm fresh as hell right now doing it.
Okay. All right. So what you probably need to add is more primary trade lines at this point in time, right? You need to get
It's
primary trade lines on your account and maybe no more than two authorized users, right? No more than two
okay.
authorized users, but primary trade lines is what you really want to get. Now, let me tell you a little trick here, right? You listening?
Okay.
All right, here's a trick. So say you get what you call a pledge loan, right? You get a pledge loan, say like $10,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you get a pledge loan, they give you your money back. Now, one of the people that do that is Navy Federal, and I think Wells Fargo do it as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get your money back. right? When they give you your money back, you're borrowing against your own money. Now,
Right.
if you put what I say, 10,000 in there, right? And say
Mm-hmm.
you get 9,000 of it back, right? You
Mm-hmm.
take that 9,000, you done did it at Navy Federal. Now you take that 9,000 and you put it in Wells Fargo,
Oh, okay.
right?
Right.
Now you borrow
Yeah.
against 8,000, right? Because you leave 1,000 in there or whatever, right? Then you take
Mm-hmm.
that money and go do the same thing somebody else, maybe at a credit union that offers pledge loans. Now you're building
Okay.
up primary accounts on your credit report, which is one budget.
Okay.
So
That's crazy.
you figure you do that. Look how much money it looks that's on the credit report, right? And you only got
Right.
10,000 on there. You only use
All
10,000.
right. So just for clarity, I'm not trying to take up too much time.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Um, so primary trade lines and pledge loans. So you said because I got a Wells Fargo account now, so I go in there, I tell them I want a pledge loan, and they'll let me know what I have to give them, right?
No, you tell them what you want to give them. You tell them, hey, I want a pledge loan for 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, right?
Okay,
And
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 then
then,
I get and then oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and then they're gonna give you the process of what it takes to get that done. That's all. They're gonna give you instructions, but understand what it's
Okay,
doing, right? They're gonna give you your money back, though, is what I'm trying to tell
yeah.
you. And it's
Okay,
going to report against all three credit bureaus. So whoever you do that to, make sure that you act. Listen, this is what I always teach. In order to get the right answer, ask the right question. So make sure you ask them and ensure that it's going to report across all three bureaus. We don't want just the Equifax. We don't want just to TransUnion. We want all three. Okay, it's very important. If it
yes,
doesn't,
sir.
don't do it.
So, what do you mean borrow against your money? Like,
They're going to give you your money back. So now you're paying on the money that you borrowed against. So now you're in debt with the
okay,
bank. All right.
okay. So
So
they give me the money back, and instead of putting the whole 9,000 in the next bank, I just take 8 to the next one.
mhm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
They're gonna give you some money back. They're gonna give you your money back, and you
Hmm.
pay against whatever you take back.
Okay. I got
All
you.
right.
I got you, bro.
All
Yeah.
right.
So no
Can I
more.
drop it?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna.
What did you saying,
Wanzo, you want me
Vince?
to drop one more gem on the secure loans?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. What was you saying, Vince?
So I don't need to add any more credit builder accounts. 4 is enough for
No,
that, right?
please don't do that, right? Because too many credit builder accounts don't think just like we know what they are, with underwriters know what they are too.
Right.
Okay. But an
Okay.
underwriter can't distinguish between a real loan that's coming from that looks like a real loan that's coming from a national bank or a regional bank, right?
Okay.
They
All right. I
understand
got you.
what those credit builder accounts are. Darren, go ahead, my friend.
And just to add on to that, like, when you're making these payments into like a Navy Federal pledge loan, they're just putting the money back into your savings account. Right? You'll have access to that money. So everybody that's like looking like, oh, 10,000, that's a lot of money and I can't afford it. You can't afford that because you're getting the money right back. And then you're just taking the money out, basically recycling that money and making the next payment so you can pay that all the way down, right? Another good gem, that's a little affordable for people is you can go to Credit Strong, right? Go to Credit Strong. They offer a $30,000 line of credit, that's a secured line of credit, right? So you can go and get that one. And what I have a lot of people do is they'll keep it for maybe a month or 2, 3 months, and then they'll close the account. And when they close the account, they're going to show that it's a paid off $30,000 loan. Why is that
Right.
important? Because now you're going to have comparable credit. Now they're going to look at it and say, okay, cool, you want a $30,000 loan? Okay, oh, wow, you paid a $30,000 loan off on your credit report already. You've already dealt with that. All right, we can probably trust you because it's all about
Okay.
credit. You want to get a $30,000 credit card, you got to show them that you had a $30,000, something similar to that on your credit report. Same thing with loans, same thing with cars. You can't just go and get a $100,000 car if you don't at least have a $60,000 car kind of showing off that you paid off on your credit report, right? So you kind of want to, basically walk before you start running. And that's kind of how you can do that process.
Yeah,
Okay.
so just take a look at that and that should be able to help you out, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, no problem. And tell your family and friends to join, Vince. All right?
I will. I done sent it to 10 people already, but I sound
Yeah.
crazy right now, man. I'm trying to talk about this stuff with other people, and I feel alone right there. They got to see me shine first before they listen to me.
It's all good, man. And once you start shining, I'm sure they'll come along because they're gonna want to shine
Yes,
too.
sir.
So no worries. You gotta lead by example sometime. All right,
Yes,
Brad,
sir.
who's next? Brad? Okay, he's gone. So let's go with MD Mindset. Oh no, we supposed to BLSE Holdings.
Bless
Yeah.
Holdings.
We'll get MD Mindset next. BLSE Holdings. Are you there? Turn your camera
Hey,
on.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You in the camp. You looking like Batman in the car, man. You
Man, you
dark
already
in
know, man. I'm trying to get on my shit. I
you
got a
dark
real
in
quick
here.
question for you.
What you got?
So I have a really strong profile. I have like 5 or 6 primaries, credit card and installment, revolving installment. But my debt to income ratio is out of whack, and I got one account on my experience I've been trying to get off. It's a closed paid off account now. So I like to see how do I go about moving at this point.
Why is your debt to ratio out of whack? Like, what caused it to be out of whack?
Everything is pretty much maxed out credit card wise.
Well, that's not just debt to ratio income. That's more utilization.
I'm sorry, that's why I'm going to say utilization, not debt to income, utilization.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if you was on here earlier, but what I explained to someone else, a young lady, is that you can go to SoFi and apply for. What was that? Apply for
My bad.
apply for a loan to
Okay.
actually consolidate your credit card debt, and then that will reduce your utilization and put you back in position to get funding.
Okay. Perfect. And then what about the experience, the one that's charged off?
You say it's a charge off?
Yeah, it's not. It's a charge off loan that I had, but it's basically a pay collection.
It's a
I,
collection?
Let me rephrase that. It was a charge off to one main financial. They never sent it to a debt agency. They kept it. They charged it off. It's paid now, and I'm trying to get it removed.
Okay. Do you try so it is I just need this clarification part. Is it a collection? It's a collection, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a collection at this point. Yes.
Okay. So most of the time, collection agencies don't actually send out what you call certified mail. And one thing they have to do is actually prove that you are aware of the debt that you owe. If in fact they did not prove that you received the information to make you the notification that you owe a debt, then they're in violation of the Fair Credit Act. So what you need to
It
do is
never
just
went.
send them.
It never went to. It never went to a third party. It's still with the same person.
Okay, so it's in their collection and they're within the same company.
Correct.
Okay. And did they validate the debt that you owe?
I've been going back and forth. I've done
Well, let
the
me ask you
dispute
this
that
quick
they.
question. Let me ask you this quick
Yeah,
question. It's only on one credit bureau right now, right?
just one.
Okay. Was it ever on the other two?
It was, and I got it removed.
Okay. When you got it removed, did you get a letter saying it deleted?
It was some years ago. If I did.
Okay. Well, this is what I want you to do. If in fact you got to delete it off the other one, just send them a letter saying that this was deleted off the other two, and please remove this one because it's supposed to be reporting across all three.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
So
Don't
because not on the other two, they had to remove this one, so it'll mirror the other two. Correct.
exactly.
Gotcha.
It should be the same. They can't have it. Somebody's got to tell the truth. You can't say it's actual debt and it's valid on this one and it's not valid on the other two. They all should speak the
Okay.
same language.
Gotcha.
All right.
I appreciate that, bro.
All right, no problem. All right. MD mindset.
What's going on, man? My camera is not working right now, so if I can't
Nah, we don't talk to people
if I
about
can't ask
we
my
don't talk to
question,
people.
I get
They
it.
might
That's
be
okay.
they might be federales, right, Darren?
Nah, you got it.
Darren.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Where Brad at? Brad?
Still gone.
Oh my God. Nah, go ahead, my man. What you got? Where you go? Put your mic back on, my friend. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, no, my camera really messed up. But quick question with the SoFi play. I'm on here right now. So you said consolidate. So it would be a loan consolidation or a credit card consolidation. Which product would it be?
Well, what's the difference? It's the same, right? And when you say loan, unless you're just identifying a loan itself, it's consolidating your debt with the credit cards. What they'll
Right.
do, they'll consolidate your debt with the credit cards, and then depending on your credit score, they'll give you additional money, right? So they
Okay.
could give you money just to consolidate the credit cards, or they could say like if you owe $30,000 in credit card debt, they can give you $30,000 to pay off the credit card debt and convert it to a loan, or they can give you $50,000 to take care of the credit card debt and take the 30,000 be for the credit card debt and the other 20 be for your pocket as a loan, but it's a total loan of 50,000.
Got it. Okay. So because when I'm looking at the products here, it's got one which is pay off my credit card, and then the other one which is consolidate loans. So
Yeah, that's if you got a number of major loans together.
okay, so it should be to pay off the credit card. And now for the credit strong play that you were talking about, would that product be on the personal or on the business side? I'm assuming on the business side, correct?
Darren?
I'm sorry, say that again. On the Credit Strong? No, you have
Yeah.
Credit Strong. They offer a personal side and business lines of credit. So
Well,
they're Credit Strong. They have revolving lines of credit, and then they have installment loans. And then they have a sister company on that same website, which is like Magnum Strong, where you can actually do business also. So depending on what you want to do, you can do either or you can do both.
Okay, so the play that I don't know what that is.
Yeah, there's some background noise there.
William B, can you put mute on? I don't know where Brad at. Brad probably still jacked up.
Okay. So the play that you were talking about, Darren, was that on the business side with Credit Strong or on the personal side?
No, that's on the personal side. So with Credit Strong, even on the business side, I haven't personally done it, but I've seen a couple people do it. But on the personal side, when you're doing it, it's if you want the $30,000 one, it's about $350 to start. It's they'll have it for $350 every month, but they give that money back to you. So when you close your account down, they'll send you a check basically. But I have people basically keep it open for about 2 to 3 months, close it down, it will report that it's paid, and then they'll send you your money back. So whatever money you pay back, they'll send it back. They take a little bit of interest out on it, but they'll send majority of your money back to you.
So okay, so I'm looking at it right now. It says the Magnum one is 30 a month. So essentially, if I do 93 months, it'd be $90, right? Or
yes, correct.
I heard you just mention 350. So is that like another product that they have?
So there's different tiers. So you have like a $5,000 one, you have a $10,000 one, a $20,000, and a $30,000. The $30,000 is at $350 a month, and then the other ones they're gonna have different price points on those ones.
Got it. Okay. And this strategy can be used to help me go get funding, like after it's paid off and everything like that. And it's just a trade line, right? It's not a credit card like that.
No, it's just a primary trade line. It's a secured loan, just like you would get at like Navy Federal, where you're basically kind of putting your own money up, but instead of like paying that full amount, so they're basically amortizing it out, saying like, okay, cool, you're gonna pay 30,000 over the course of 5 years or whatever it may be, right? And then they amortize it out, and then you can pay it every month, basically, until you get to the 30,000. Once you get to 30,000, if you get the full term, they'll close the account down, show that it's paid, and they'll send you all your money back. But what we're doing is just advancing that by basically closing it down in 2 to 3 months and then having it paid and then getting your money back.
So you let it season over the next days.
Yeah. All right, because we gotta get these other people real quick. So did that help you out, my friend Mindset? Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna do. Oh man, I wish my boy Brad was here. All right, we're gonna do Carl, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap it up, guys, in a minute here. Let's see, Carl, what you got? How you doing, Carl?
Hey, I'm good, man.
Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay.
Just South
What you
Florida. Basically, my profile is kind of thin right now, and I had a charge off. I finally got it removed. I've been fighting with it for like 4 years. Finally got it off, and I'm trying to I was trying to get my utilization down. I got a utilization like about $11,000, and I went to SoFi before because I heard you mention it before, and I checked it out, but I got denied. My score is like about like in 630, 640 around there. All across, I'm in like mid sixes. So I'm trying to figure out like what can I do? What other way can I go as far as like a personal loan and try to get that consolidated? Then I can, come see you to help me build it up and get to where I'm trying to get to. That's the only thing happening right now with mine.
So let me get this right. So you have a number of different loans and credit cards. Did I hear that right? I'm sorry if I had.
No, I have two credit cards. basically totaling $10,000.
Okay.
That's maxed out. But I'm trying to get a personal loan so I can consolidate it, and then that way my utilization will go down. Then I would just need to build up a couple of primaries so I could be able to get to
So how many primary accounts do you have on your credit report right now?
I have at least three. I have a vehicle that's paid off. I have well, I had a couple of vehicles that's paid off, and I have the two credit cards. The two credit cards is what's really holding me back right now as far as the utilization rate.
Okay, so your utilization is pretty high then. Is it?
Exactly.
So are your credit cards maxed out?
Correct.
So and those are only two credit cards you have. So you had 100% utilization.
Right. And I have like one AU on there that's my brother's that's totaling about 36.
So this is what I want you to understand in some of these cases, right? There's not very many financial institutions that want to take risks with people that look like they definitely in financial hardship because that means they're taking on that risk with you. And if they do decide to take it on, they impact a very high interest rate to that because they're high risk, right?
Right.
It's not that you defaulted, but the chances are you defaulting are very high. So you
Right.
got to be mindful of that, right?
And I was
So
saying time too, not to cut you off, but everything is up to date. Everything's paid up to date. There's no late payments or none of that
no,
stuff.
no, 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 that's fine, but that doesn't matter to them, right? What I'm trying to tell you is that it might be paid on time, but they're looking at the overall picture, and the overall picture is that what does your finances look like? And the finances to them look like you're struggling when you have high utilization because they don't say, why is your credit card this high? In
Okay.
my mentorship, I show people how to think like an underwriter. So I'm telling you what an underwriter is going to look at.
Correct.
And they're going to say, why would I get this guy money? He might run off on us. Or we took on somebody else's debt. Now we're stuck with it and they got their money.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you're doing that, you're gonna more than likely run into a situation where you're gonna be dealing with high interest rates. Now, you have to respond it to some, you have to make yourself responsible and let them know what you're trying to do. Because most of the time you're telling them, hey, listen, I want this loan because I'm gonna take that loan and pay off those credit cards. Now that's something that SoFi gives you the option to do. And they'll tell you once they analyze your your credit report, they say, hey, you pay off these credit cards, then we'll give you instead of 10,000, we might give you 15,000. And go 10 for the credit cards, another 5 for the actual pocket.
Okay, let me ask you this. When you apply at SoFi and you, as far as like they ask you the consolidation credit, that doesn't really hurt your credit as far as like, remember what you were talking about before? I think I was on the last call, you were talking about how sometimes where it reports where if you do
It's you just say consolidated loan versus a regular loan.
would that hurt me as far as like the situation if
Well,
you
I mean, their underwriters going to look at that like, why did you consolidate, right? So consolidation loans can be very impactful in a negative way because it
okay,
shows that something was hurting you, right? So that's why you try to hide that and just get a normal loan, right? That doesn't say consolidation.
okay, okay. So what I'll do is the next time I'll apply with them and try to get this down. I am paying it down slowly but surely, but at the same time, it's like I just wanted to speed the process up with the time if I could have got that loan and get approved and then go forward with
Well,
the
I'm
next.
not saying you shouldn't try. Go ahead and try. It's nothing but an inquiry, right? But
I mean, it was
explain.
soft. It was
But
actually a soft pull. It was actually a soft pull. So
yeah, but then they should. Well, I said so far, right? Because I deal with so many banks. Yeah, you're right. So when you go there, what's going to happen is that they're going to let you know if you're going to what you qualify for, and then they'll ask you for the proper documentation that they want. So I would say go ahead and apply, and then actually see what happens, and let them understand what you're doing. Because see, they're going to look at it like you're eliminating that debt with the credit cards, right? That's what you're
right,
doing. So since that's going to be a main concern, that's that's not a concern anymore because you're wiping it out.
right. I mean, I got some other places that try to offer me some personal loan or on Credit
Just
Karma.
don't get no merchant capital. Don't get no merchant loan. Do not do that. I'm telling you, do not. Anybody on this call, do not get a merchant loan. you're gonna put yourself in a world of hurt, world of pain. I promise you that. Don't do it.
Say less. I definitely didn't think about that. But yeah, I had some other people offer me loans from Credit Karma, but the freaking interest rate is through the roof. It's just
Well,
ridiculous.
let me tell you about interest rates real quick, and then we be shutting this down, right? So if you have a plan, and I'll give you an example like this. If someone said, "Hey, um, Wanzo, we're gonna give you a loan for 100,000," the interest rate is gonna be 20%, right? Which is crazy, right? But I have something I'm gonna do with that loan within the next 60 days that's gonna generate me 170,000. So I'm gonna pay that loan back plus the 20% they got, and I still have a margin that I actually have and was looking for to acquire a profit. So it's not about the interest rate being so high if you got a plan, right? Because it's a quick turnaround. But if you don't have a plan and you got a high interest rate, now you got a big
Now you got a
problem.
problem.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that's why I try to teach you guys and tell you that it's all about structure and strategy. Sometimes high interest loans are not a bad idea, depending on what you're going to do with it. But if you don't have anything to do with it, then you're looking at putting yourself in a situation.
Right, I got the plan, man. I'm coming to see you, man.
Okay, well, again, guys, if in fact you need to get to me on 101, I think Brad put the links into the chat. You can book a call with me. You can join the mentorship. I teach you all this stuff. I spend one-on-one time with you guys. I spend up to 4 weeks, and if it's real estate involved, I spend up to 6 weeks, right? But I show you guys the in-depth skills that you need to actually obtain money and invest it into real estate and different tricks and trades of how to run into the real estate game, all right? I do mostly residential, and I understand commercial too, to a limit, right? So with that said, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Please tell your family and friends, come in, get some of this free education that we're spilling out. I'm going to be sending out an ebook that I just
Thank you,
created.
by the way. Thank you, man.
Hey, no problem, Carl. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to be sending out a free business guide that I created, and then if in fact you guys want to learn how to eliminate any third-party collections, I'm going to be selling an ebook for $9. Just go to my actual IG. It's going to be on the Wanzo Way .com website, and you guys can go out there and grab that, and it'll be a process that you can actually use that's been proven over number of times that's been successful with getting rid of any collections that's on your credit report, as long as they third party. All right.
Hey,
With
Mr.
that
Wanzo,
said,
Mr. Wanzo,
yes.
I know I just wanted to share with those that are new like myself first time. So I called while we were on the line and I'm listening, I called SoFi. I didn't hesitate. I moved immediately. I called and the result is that I got on the phone with an agent who heard my vision, my what I'm attempting to do, and clearly said that yes, sir, we have no problem. We can be able to help you get all that resolved as far as getting those little things paid off and putting me where I only have one debt that I have to service. It was great information, very timely, and I just wanted to share it with those that on here. So you will be talking to me. I will be booking a call with you because we got to get to work.
Okay.
And
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, take your mics off. Let's all say good night. You guys got to give me one thing, and that's just say the Wanzo Way so I can have that recorded because I'm trying to get you guys to the next level of the game. So go ahead. Can I hear it one time?
Wanzo Way.
Good night, everyone.
Wanzo Way.
Hey,
Wanzo Way.
what the hell?